Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. So I'm kind of full screen on the whole dashboard here because I want to show you the latest development of what I've built onto it. I know it still looks pretty rough, but I'll show you what I've added. It's a work in progress. That's the first thing I want to do today. Second thing is we're going to take a drive. We're going to be in the Viper today and we're going to be doing a twin stick setup. It's going to be a 5.4 transmission. Yeah, and along the way I'll talk to you a few things, developments about the game, some gossip going around. I don't know if you want to call it gossip, but some news anyway, and something that I hear people going back and forth on, and I want to kind of give my opinion, not to sway anyone, but to maybe hopefully put things into perspective, as we're still trying to work things out with what new developers are doing to protect their trucks. So we'll talk about that a little bit along the way, and I'll discuss a couple of the developments that I'm going to be working on in the near future to get this dashboard ready. So that is pretty much the agenda. If you do not want to listen to any parts, timestamps are down in the description. As always, skip around as you see fit. Let's go ahead and get into the first part. Alright, so what we're looking at here full screen is this was already added. I already have these panels. Again, for those of you who haven't watched this before, this is going to be a panel where I have these gauges and hopefully at least 4 to 6 more. This is just makeshift for right now. I had 2 of these boxes. These buttons are just kind of miscellaneous right now, and they're going to go into this panel. This is where you would normally have like your typical button box if you bought it from a company or bought it already pre-built. But I've taken some of the buttons out of here and some of the buttons out of the second cardboard box, and as you see, I've mounted them here now below the desk. And we've got a piece of plywood on top, another piece of plywood on the front, and it's binding this 2x4 in the back. You can't see it, but right down here is a piece of 2x4, and that's what these junction boxes, these ABS junction boxes, are mounted to. There's a lid on them. They're upside down, so I can just unscrew from the corners, and then I'll be able to remove the lid entirely so I can access the processor, or so I can access the USB encoder and any of the buttons should I need to work on them. The good news is, ever since I ran into all my problems with the cardboard boxes, I haven't had any issues down here. The buttons are working perfect for the most part. I did have one hiccup. It was kind of user error that had to do with joy to key, and I fixed that. So we're looking pretty good. It's kind of hard to see, but I've got this other box over here. So these are actually 2 separate boxes. This is a gap between them, if you can see. So over here on the right, I've got my lights. So I got, I'll probably end up assigning one of these to something else. But for right now, for more realism, even though they both do the same thing, this one on the left is parking lights. This is headlights, and I do actually hit both of the switches to simulate that I actually have different switches in it. High beams is this blue glowing one. For right now, this button is actually controlling how my GPS zooms within the truck. I just found that that was a common one, and I want it right now. I use it all the time. It'll eventually probably get moved up to this panel, but for right now it's here, and then I'll just use that for something else. And this is my beacons. Over here on the left, I've got my ignition. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe move that out of the way a little bit. You can see the ignition and the key. I've got the wipers on a rotary encoder, and then left and right windows, up and down. Here's a big hole in the middle. That's what happens when you try to put the right one right there and you cut incorrectly because you were probably using the wrong type of cutting machine to cut through this. And this is actually kind of hard because I don't know if I was going too fast, too slow, but I ended up using a Dremel with an add-on wheel. It's kind of like a grinder type of material, and it just melted it, and it actually, it like it would come out and melt and then solidify, so I had to like file it away, and in the whole process I made this button, this hole here that you can see right into, I made it too big, so now I've got this huge gap between the two. Honestly, I'm either going to put something over this, or for the most part, unless I have my camera right there, which I won't, all you'll be able to see is this. And it kind of looks, from afar, it kind of has a metal look. So I might leave that as is, but you're not going to see this here. It's just my issue. I might sand it a little bit so I don't cut myself on it. But that's pretty much what's going on. So ignition, wipers, windows, and all my lights pretty much is the way and I'm going to just do it by going under this rack here. That's how I'm going to control them. And then I'll have the rest of my, somewhere between 15 to 25 extra buttons over here on this panel, like you would have a typical button box. So that is what's going on here. So let's go ahead and get everything set up, grab a load, and take a drive. Okay, we are up in Nebraska today, up in Alliance at the Farmers Cooperative. And here is the Viper, the Peterbilt. I have it set up as a 379 on the inside, but it can be a 379 or a 389. I've got it set up with a pretty just stock paint job on this. This is actually one of the default colors that comes with it. I haven't loaded any of the skin packs because I was loading them along with some other stuff, and like an idiot, when you load multiple stuff and you get a crashed desktop, you don't know which one is which. So the skin packs I forgot to put back in, so we're just going to go with the default. So it's kind of a teal, aquamarine color. Little side note, this was going to be the color of my entire branding before I decided on the green. Just a little side note there. But it is in fact green now, but we're going back to this. We also have the Pizzster Timpte trailer, this little grain trailer, and it's more or less the same color as best I could do to match it. And yeah, so we got everything open right now. We just showed up to the Farmers Cooperative and Alliance. What we're going to do is drive over. Let me go ahead and fly through the air here. And we're going to fly over and park right. We're going to back into there. And we are going to get some dynamic loading. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. First things first, let's get the track IR off. So that's not messing with us. Get the lights on. Engine started. Oh, are we low on air? Sounds like we're low on air. Let's go ahead and get these windows down. Get my track IR on. See if I can identify it. Where is the air? Well, it's right there next to the fuel. It's actually coming up. It shouldn't be coming up by itself, but it is. Let's wait till it gets up to about 90. In the meantime, let's make sure we got headlights on. We'll go ahead and get our four-ways on. All my buttons are working just fine. I like it. Yeah, we're up to about 90, so we can go ahead and get started. Again, we are in a Spicer 5.4 or Spicer Style 5.4. We'll go ahead and get started off in one direct. I'll leave this up here for you so you can see what gear I'm in. The Timpte was recently updated, probably about 5 days ago, 6 days ago, to be able to take these dynamic loads. The Wilson Commander by Pizzster, also by Pizzster, also takes these dynamic loads. There may be more of them out there that do. I don't remember which ones offhand. Besides that, the Load King DLC, if you've got that, the Load King grain hauler has the capability to do these. Oh, I'm absolutely not skipping the loading. Killing me? You know that I've got dynamic loading and you're still asking me to skip it. I don't think so. That's what I've been trying to work on. A couple videos ago, I pulled into some place. It may have even been this place. And I wasn't able to actually get it to load. It was kind of frustrating. Hit the horn so they know we're coming back. We'll switch it over to the second reverse, or under. Don't want to get this horse trailer here. can't see the line very well. One thing I've been noticing is that it seems like the highlights are kind of blown out, especially in certain parts of the road. Oh, it's already started the loading. So it's actually loading the rear portion of it right now. And we'll just go ahead and back up a little bit further when it wants us to. Okay, we're at 50% indicated. Turn the trailer a little bit so we don't clip it. Once we get into the loading area and that line turns yellow again, then we're going to load the other half. Let's make it realistic. Let's go a little bit further back because it looks like it's kind of going into that back bin. So that is the dynamic loading with the Timpte. Loading
team has been assembled to guide the mission. Let's get started.
Perfect. Cargo has been loaded. The tarps have been shut, and let's go ahead and get going. First of all, let's take it out of reverse because that's obnoxious. Nope. Reverse is controlled by this. This is only the different types of reverse. 30,870 pounds of corn going to Casper. It's not that heavy. I'm going to go ahead and start it in one direct. Again, the 4-speed auxiliary here, up and left, is your first one. They call it low. The second one is under. The third one, bottom right, is direct. And the fourth one is over. So I just think about Ludo. Low, under, direct, and over. So we're going to go ahead and start in one direct today. See if we can get a dynamic shot with the camera. Nope, don't have it loaded in this profile. We're just going to have to go old school with this. It's a good combination. By the way, this is one of my favorite trucks to drive. It is a freebie. The trailer is payware from Pizzster, but the Viper is completely free and just has lots of options on it. I love the feel from the inside. And it's just kind of become one of my default twin stick. Not that a 379 would necessarily have a twin stick in it, but I'm just going to kind of take the lead from the designers here because it's, as you see right there, you do have an option, a node to go single stick or twin, and I'm definitely going twin whenever I have that option. Let's go ahead and get these windows up. Do I have any beacons on this? Let me test them.
Turn right.
Nope, no beacons on this, and there's no beacons on the Viper. So we'll get those off. 4 ways off. We're going to make a right turn. And for those of you that don't have a whole lot of experience, especially in the low gears with a twin stick, especially with a 525 horsepower N14, that came with this truck, by the way, because there are a lot of N14s out there. I don't end up really moving the stick a whole lot. I can pretty much stay in either under or direct and go just basically shift the main transmission from first up to third. As soon as I go into fourth, I will drop it one step, usually from direct to under. A little bit longer of a fall off because I'm actually skipping gears. I'm not going 2 direct, 2 over, 2 under. So I'm still floating those. And then when I go up to 4, I'm going to go to 4 under. First stick, clutch, rev match, and we're in 4 under. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Enjoying Nebraska quite a bit. Excited that I've finally been able to get these, get this dynamic loading working, especially with some great trailers. Thank you, Pizzster, for getting that set up very quickly so that we can all enjoy it.
Continue straight.
And we're going to turn right. Go ahead and put it into direct and switch into third.
Turn right.
Go back to first and we'll leave it in direct. Wow. Can't really see with that sun.
Continue straight.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go straight to third, skipping all the other gears in the auxiliary again until I get up to fourth, like now. Go fourth, clutch, rev match, and we're good. Love the twin stick. I drive this most of the time when I'm not actually doing a video and I'm just driving myself. I'm usually driving some form of twin stick. I've got like 7 or 8 of them that I'm driving, and it's a good thing I finally worked out. I had a problem profile. You might remember that I was talking about on last video and the video before, and I got that sorted out. It was my twin stick profile. So I've been going through all my different profiles now, or all my different transmissions in this twin stick profile. Glad to have it back. Oop, just missed the gear there. Timing was good. So, go up to fourth here. So to kind of discuss this whole developer issue and people wanting, developers understandably wanting to hold on to their intellectual property and not have their trucks and trailers and mods stolen, many people might know, especially who have Pizzster stuff, that Pizzster is now implementing ModGuard, and ModGuard is essentially a way that it verifies, so you don't have to have a key, and it verifies that specific mod to make sure that you are who you say you are, otherwise the mod is disabled. Well, there is another company, another developer.
Turn right.
Oh, coming up. Let's get the Jake on.
Turn right.
It's probably good enough. There's another developer who has come up with one called Modfy, and a lot of people are flipping out. And they've looked at some of the basic information on it, and maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. I don't know, and I think that's kind of the point of why I'm bringing this up. There are indications that the mod will actually have access to more than just verifying your mod, but could have access to more stuff on your computer. And rightly so, people are kind of not okay with that. So probably the biggest news is that some pretty heavy hitter developers have said that they are either going with or are considering going with this new Modfy, and that is KI Shadowwalker, Pinga, and FLX. And that covers a lot of our really nice trucks and trailers. And I mean, not all of them obviously, but you know, these are pretty popular trucks and trailers from these developers, and now people are like feeling like backstabbed, and they've already purchased the mod, and now they're thinking about not getting the updates, because if you don't get the updates, then you won't actually have to install this Modfy thing. And I think the main thing that I want to mention here is we have some information that says that it could be a little bit more than what ModGuard, which is what Pizzster's doing, is using. So it's a little bit alarming and a little bit concerning. I think we should definitely keep our eye on it. But before we get to the point where we say, oh, I'm abandoning these developers, I'll never buy anything from them again, I do think we need to get a little bit more information. And there is quite a bit of evidence right now that all of that information to make that decision is being held from us. Again, maybe a red flag for some of us.
Turn right.
Nonetheless, my stance, and you don't have to take the same stance. I'm just giving you my opinion. Your mileage may vary. Take it with a grain of salt. You can make up your own minds, but I am erring on the side of caution, and I am not updating my FLX 359. I have a 352, a Pete 352 from KI Shadowwalker, as well as his Mac F700. I have a whole slew of trucks trucks and trailers from Pinga, and I'm just erring on the side of caution, and I am not updating these right now because I don't want to be part of Modfy in the event that we learn for a fact that it's going to be doing some nefarious stuff or has the capability to. But at this point I'm cautious, and I want to find out a little bit more information before I jump to any conclusions. So that's pretty much where I stand. There's some indications there could be some stuff screwy going on, and I'm concerned about it, but because we don't have all the information, I can't definitively say, yes, I'm using it, it's okay, or no, I'm not using it because I don't think it's okay. So that's kind of where I stand. And again, just where I'm coming from, I'm not telling you what to do, but before we lose our stuff, maybe, you know, take a beat, step back, and listen to what the developers are saying, because there are many people who are getting in touch with these developers to get more information so that we can figure out, is this going to be a safe thing? How, you know, am I giving you like administrative access to my mods, or what? What is in fact going on here? And that's important stuff to know. But until we get there, I'm cautious, I'm skeptical, but I'm not making up my mind right now because we just don't have all the info. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. If you disagree with me, don't leave me a nasty comment, but you can tell me, you know what, hey, I see evidence, I'm suspicious of it. And one of the reasons why I'm kind of, well, there's 2 reasons why I can't really make up my mind. Number one, I kind of rely on what people are saying and the evidence they have to support it, and it's very clear to me, at least, that we have a lack of information. That means you can't really decide one way or the other. That being said, you know, it is kind of a scary thing. The other thing is, I really like Pinga, I really like FLX, and I really like KI Shadow Walker. And part of me is thinking, there's no way that these developers could be on board with something if it was so malicious. And maybe that's me being naive, but that's another, you know, reason why I'm kind of like, well, let's get some more information before we jump to any conclusions. And you know how this stuff spreads like wildfire across Discord and Facebook, and then all of a sudden we're bad-mouthing something that really doesn't do anything bad in the first place. So let's give it some time. We'll find some more information, but what I am doing is I'm holding off on the updates in case it is not the greatest thing. But I'm not saying I'm banning it. I'm not saying, oh, I'm never going to buy from this developer again. So that's kind of where I stand on it. And do your own research. I will be in touch with you guys through these videos when I learn a little bit more as we go, as more is revealed from the developer. Hopefully they're being straightforward. Let's see if we can merge in here. What I've noticed here on this merge is these trucks stop really short here, and that's what's happening here. Like, you're already slowing down because traffic is there, but I've seen trucks it's just me and another truck. There's nothing in front of the truck, and when it comes to those bottlenecks, the truck is slowing down, like he's brake checking me or something. So I don't know what's going on. Crazy AI always doing their thing in this game. Get up into 5th. Hey, there's that truck stalled out in the center again. Someone pointed that out in the comments of my videos. I didn't even notice it because I was probably yapping about some other stuff. But we found that same stalled out truck there. Right there in the center divider. So this is one of the skins that comes with the trailer. I'm trying to keep it pretty basic instead of going with something crazy and ornate. This is just one of the more basic skins that comes with the trailer, the Timpte trailer from Pizzster. And it matches the truck, more or less, and gives it a nice little thin pinstriping on it for some for some flair, but I'm starting to run some of my paints, some of my skins in something that I see a little bit more, it's more realistic, something I don't see a whole lot of crazy paint jobs unless you're talking about an actual brand from a big corporation. Then most people have pretty basic paint jobs, usually solid, maybe two, like a second minor color, like in this little pinstriping detail on this trailer. But I'm trying to stick more to that. I really love all the skins that I'm seeing out from Poppy Pups, Polly's Custom Skins, Goggles, obviously, and many more. But, and I mean, for the most part, they are pretty, I don't know, it's not like ornate and a ton of stuff, but there is a lot of detail that goes into it, and I guess I'm just trying to keep it a little bit simple at this point. And I also see a lot of videos where people are doing something similar to what I am, and they'll have like a realistic mode or like a realistic theme going on, whether it's like realistic pricing or realistic, some people drive without a GPS to make it a little bit of a challenge. And most of the time when these guys are holding on to the same truck and using them in a series, a lot of times they're pretty basic in terms of their skin or paint job.
Continue.
Which is kind of cool. So I'm kind of going that route, try that for a little bit. Especially with this color, since I mentioned in the beginning that this was almost the same color that I was going to go with for my entire channel brand. I don't know what it is about it, but especially on this truck, really looks good, in my opinion. Climbing up to 5th. I'm going to 5 direct. How you guys liking Nebraska? I'm liking it a lot. I think a lot of it has to do with the 1.5 update, especially, and how like the trees and the bushes are rendering. Not getting a ton of aliasing and stuff. We do see some flickering of this sign as I say that. It's funny though, oh, I can't see it from the cab a little bit. I guess it's a little bit more pronounced when you're outside and driving. So we're bringing her up to speed here. We got 80 miles an hour is our speed limit. We're just about 72, 73 according to my gauge, and 73 up there, pretty accurate. And when I say my gauge, I mean my actual gauge on my desk. I'm looking to see if over time these things need to be recalibrated. I've only calibrated them once when I hooked them up, and I haven't had to calibrate them since, and it stays pretty accurate. Now I've got the panel that I'm going to put on here and drill all my holes in for these gauges. That's coming on Saturday, and I think I'm going to be in the market for a few more gauges, so I need to do some research and see if I can find which ones I want to get. That's what I was going to do. I wanted to ask you guys, for those of you who have any sort of information, any sort of knowledge on gauges. What gear am I in? There we go. One of the gauges that I really want to get, and I'm by the way, I'm using the Sim Projects board for all of these gauges, and one of the gauges that I know that it works, like it's supposed to actually read out and work with, is the air pressure, the brake air pressure. I cannot find a brake air pressure gauge that is not mechanical. If you guys know of any non-mechanical, so electronic brake air pressure gauges, that would be amazing, because that's one of those things that does fluctuate in the game quite a bit. And I would like to be able to see that, especially if I get the indication, like I did at the beginning of this video, where I'm low on air, and I want to be able to look at that gauge as the needle's coming up.
Keep right.
So,
And then exit right.
we will do that, Morgan. We will do that.
Exit right. Keep right. And then turn right.
Got a good sounding Jake on it for sure.
Turn right.
Right into quick red, I guess. Alright, we got no one coming. Go out a little bit far so we stay... Oh, they're moving now.
Keep right. And then turn right.
Got a good sized trailer on here. I believe this is a 53 footer.
Turn right.
I can't remember the sizes that this Timpte comes in. It's either a 50 or a 53, but it's the bigger one. Got away with that. That was a bad shift, but we're only sitting at 30,000 pounds on the cargo, so got away with it. I discovered a new recruiting agency. Nice. To get some more guys and
in 400 meters, turn right.
Make some more money with the company. Nope. Let's go down, back down. Those
right.
little downhills always get you. Not so much when you don't have that much weight, but when you do have like 50, 60,000 and above, it really carries that momentum. Looks like we're good.
In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Ah, yeah. This looks familiar because one of my profiles is based out of Casper, so I end up coming here quite a bit. To the BNSF.
Turn right. And then keep right.
You can just stay right in this gear. Not bad. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, we'll get a downshift as we're pulling in here. Oh, because I missed it. Let's go 2 under. Get the windows down as we're coming in. Get the 4-ways on. And I'm going to figure out where it is that they want us to drop off, so I will be back with you in just a second.
You've arrived. It's been my honor and duty to see you through this mission.
Alright, looks like we're just up here on the left. Let's see that pinstriping again on that. And basically it's just like that basic design. You can change the color on the design on the trailer, that pinstriping, and you can change the color obviously on the whole trailer itself. Looking pretty good. And I always enjoy a day where I get to twin stick. Let's pull this in a little bit closer so we can get a good angle on it. And back right into Swift right there. Let's be better than Swift today, huh? Let's get it in there and not crash. Alright. We'll go nice and slow. We'll go to reverse 1. Hit the horn. Always got to hit the horn. Let them know you're coming back. Well, we already have a pretty tight angle here. Start to turn in a little bit sharper now. Straighten her out. We're going to come in too sharp. Did I start turning too late? Not too bad. Maybe a little bit toward the end here. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do one quick forward. Be nice and straight. Come back to the left a little bit. That'll be good. And one little pull up, not bad. There we go. We'll stop short of Swift. And there we are. We'll go ahead and get the windows up. Parking lights on only. We'll kill the four-way since we're in a spot. We'll get the engine off. And welcome to Casper. Thanks for coming along on the drive, guys. I hope you enjoyed the little twin stick going on. The 5.4 Spicer type. I don't know if Spicer actually has a 5.4, to be honest with you. I actually built them and put the ratios together based on a 5-speed transmission and a 4-speed auxiliary, because that's how it comes. Normally, if you're looking up the gear ratios for like a 9-speed or a 10-speed, 13, 18, it's one transmission, so you know, you kind of just get all the ratios in one little bunch. But when you have two different transmissions, you have to take the information from one, put it together with the information from the other one, and for every main gear and it hits each auxiliary gear, you have to actually compute those. And 5.4 seems to be one of my favorite twin sticks for sure, and especially on this Viper. Yeah, enjoyed it. Again, Pizzster, this is the Pizzster Timpte trailer and the Viper. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments about anything we discussed, the buttons, the dash, especially that little information about ModGuard and Modfy, go ahead and leave them down below. But I would just urge you guys, you know, we don't have all the info, so if someone comments something you don't agree with, you know, let's just be responsible with it. We don't need to be tearing down people and stuff, especially when we don't have all the information. Anyway, thanks for coming along on the drive. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you can see all of my videos. Until then, I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.